Right guys, how's it going? Welcome back. I recently did a video with all 5 generations of the Kia Sportage. You see, the Kia Sportage has just turned 30. So I was invited by Kia to go and drive all 5 generations. And I was really pleased with that video. I thought it was a genuinely good piece of automotive journalism. I thought it was shot really well, produced really well, and unfortunately it was viewed by 11 of you. And this is a trend I've noticed for some time now. Whenever I do a serious review, and I prefer doing them to be honest, I feel like it's helpful and informative, they just don't perform as well as me poking around a scruffy car in a car park. It's weird. So when I was offered this 13-year-old Kia Sportage yesterday for just £1,000, I couldn't really say no. I know that poking around a scruffy old Sportage in a car park will result in far more views than a nice polished piece. Anyway, that's the weird situation I found myself in. So, I haven't actually seen this Sportage yet, but it's been described to me as needing a little bit of paintwork down the near side and a very good clean. On the bright side, I've been told that it's mechanically sound and it's 4-wheel drive, which on a day like today, in the midst of winter, I think is a really good thing. They were always quite good news, this era of Sportage. I've had plenty of them over the years. They always sell well. What I'm thinking of here is pay £1,000 for it, spend another £1,000 on it, and then it should be worth about £3,000. So it's quite a simple formula. 1, 2, 3, hopefully. Like I said, I haven't actually seen it yet, so I thought today you could accompany me, keep me company on this frosty winter's morning. Well, we're not too far away now, so I shall see you there. Well, we're here. It's not a bad colour really, it's almost like a minky sort of colour. Nissan used to do one called Cafe Latte or Cappuccino or something like that. It's not a bad colour. The near side is indeed damaged, quite badly actually. The near side rear door is quite badly damaged, sort of banana shaped. Front bumper's kind of scratched, looks filthy. It's got knobbly mud tyres though, so that suggests it's been somewhere, it's lived somewhere rural, possibly on a farm, which I can only imagine what the interior is like. I'm guessing also that's a private plate. I don't think it's from Reading. I think that's RH is someone's initials, RH10 RMH. Oh, the bonnet's dented as well. That's a bit naughty, you know, they never told me about that. They told me the near side, they didn't say the bonnet was dented and rusty. I thought I couldn't go wrong really at £1,000, but now I'm starting to feel as though I have got this slightly wrong. What I'm thinking of doing, guys, straight away here, if that drives okay, run it to my mechanics, get it serviced MOT'd, as long as it's not condemned, by the way, check the underside, check it's not rotten, and then maybe just clean it up and advertise it as it is, cheaply. Don't bother doing the paintwork. If I do the paintwork, I could quite easily spend £600 on it, and it might not be worth it. If I were to, I don't know. Let's have a look. That's just an idea that hit me. Right, as always then, we're going to do a quick vehicle history check using Car Vertical. That's really easy to use. All you do is go to carvertical.com, type in the vehicle reg or the VIN. In this case, we know this one. RH10 RMH. Check vehicle. By the way, if you want to do one of these checks for yourself and you want to save yourself 10% off each and every check that you do, use my promo code HIGHPEAK, or alternatively, click the link below in the video description. And there we go. So it's currently checking databases in dozens of countries, all over the place, and it checks hundreds of millions of cars. It'll tell us whether it's ever been stolen, written off, had a mileage rollback, or has outstanding finance on it. It'll also tell us a bit about the car, so it'll tell us the MOT history and things like that. And if, for example, it has been involved in an accident, sometimes there are photographs of the damage. So it is quite a handy tool, really. The last time I used this, I think it was with that C-Class Coupe. It showed the photographs the last time the car was advertised. So it just gives you a bit more information about what you're buying. Right, we're almost done. Right, and the report's ready. So, it's never been stolen, it's never had a mileage rollback, there's no outstanding finance, and there's no recorded damage. This is the crucial part, there's no recorded damage, so it's never been written off. The insurance company's never paid out, but it has still been damaged. The last known mileage was 75,226, before that 71, 66, 60, so it is fairly consistent every single year. It's quite low for its age than that, isn't it? Especially for a diesel. Right, the market value as of today, the average price is £4,277. I was thinking it could be 3.5 to 4, you know, 4 pushing it really, but 4.2 is the average price. Maybe it's worth doing the paintwork. Who knows, who knows. Right, so it was first registered in 2010, April 2010. Ownership changed, inspection. Right, so it failed its MOT, oh that was last year. Failed its MOT in July 22, then it passed in July 22, and then it had another one in June 23, and we're all good. Might not be the end of the world. This might have just been abused cosmetically, but looked after mechanically. We'll soon find out, won't we? Right then. Quite a nice day today. Frosty, cold, but at least it's sunny and dry. Right, well this side's quite tidy. Forever the optimist. Oh, got a whiff of marijuana then. I don't think it's coming from this car, I think it's coming from somewhere else. Right, this is a General Grabber. They're quite good tyres actually. And there's no point me checking the tread because it's not that kind of tyre. Yeah. It's quite tidy down this side. Well, they are matching tyres. Needs a new set of reg plates. And that's a bit of a state, isn't it? I could buy some touch-up paint or something and touch that in just to take your eye off it, really, just to make it look a bit tidier. So it would need the whole front bumper, or the, you know, that corner of the bumper painting. Matching tyres. So we've got some damage here. Now the good thing with this car is you could just paint the lower part and then, you know, mask off to that line there. And the same here. Here where it's sort of pushed in, you could just touch that in really, couldn't you? It's one of those cars where it's not really worth spending a fortune on really. Springs look a bit corroded there. Rear brake discs look okay though. Some damage there, damage to the light lens, that'll buff off I think. Damaged bumper corner. Isn't the nicest thing this, is it? It's an XS though. XS was high spec, wasn't it? XE, XS, XT I think. XS was alright. Yeah, we've got 2 keys and 2 fobs. Huh? Works. We've got leather as well. This is a high spec. Inside is foul as it goes. It would clean up. It would clean up. Car wash people are going to love me, aren't they? It's done 77,000 miles. It smells very horsey. Oh, look at that. USB auxiliary points. It smells quite horsey. CD down there. Right, service history then. Let's have a look at this. Let's see if it's been looked after mechanically. There's the previous MOT there. That's good until July next year. Right. Then we've got a service book here from Kia. That's interesting, right? It was serviced first at Toyota. Toyota at 8,000 miles. Then again at Kia, then again at Kia. So there is some history here. Then again at Kia, Premier Kia, Premier Kia, Premier Kia, Premier Kia. Right, the last one recorded in the book then was 2017 at 45,000 miles. But there are some additional receipts here. G3 paint protection, look at this. They used that on Apollo 11. Got some insurance documents here which I can't show you because it's got people's names and addresses on. Right, those receipts then just back up the stamps in the book. Okay, they're not full history, but it does have some. So 30,000 miles ago, right. Wait for the old glow plug. Oh, well, fired up on the button. Sounds quite sweet really for a diesel. Not too clattery. My visor doesn't go back all the way. Ah! Found some glasses here. Very good. Pop those back in there. Very good. Isn't a bad car this then, is it?
Emergency.
Been listening to Capital. We're low on diesel. And, importantly, it's four-wheel drive. All four windows work. Mirrors. Very good. Knock that off for now then. Leave it in gear so it doesn't roll. I think that's my plan of attack here then, guys. The back's quite clean. Back's very clean actually compared to the fronts. Cup holders. That's going to be my plan, I think. Get it cleaned up, take it to my mechanics, see if it's alright. I always quite like the fact that you could split these and just open the tailgate glass rather than the full hatch. It's got its parcel shelf. Does need a very, very good clean this. A full-size spare. Right, very good. I wonder if I could just do sort of minimal paint on this. I don't want to be cutting corners, but you've got to know where to draw the line, haven't you? Not that I do. Rock Legends. Capital Gold Rock Legends. Oh. What's this off? Some sort of reflector off something, isn't it? Where does that go? Strange. Pop that back in there. Maybe that's where it lives. Nothing else to see here, is there? Let's have a look under the bonnet. Now I know these have a cam belt rather than a chain, I think. I think in 2011 onwards they changed to a chain, but I think this era was a belt. I wonder if it's being done. Probably not. Be nice to find a sticker though, wouldn't it? No. No sticker to say cam belt changed. It's a pity. They are quite good engines these, the old common rail diesel. Right, let's take it for a run. Too cold to be buggering about. I'm impressed at how well it starts. Well, my brakes aren't locked on, which is always a good start. A little bit of a knock there over that bump. It is a good spec, although there are no heated seats. It does feel a bit loose on the front end, this. Like it might need some new arms or bushes or drop links. Possibly the back as well. There's a tow bar, so if it's been towing, the rear suspension's probably worn out at a faster rate. Brakes are a little bit grindy, but then it has been sat there, so they might free off. Nobody lets you go. Everyone's in a rush. And we're away. Clutch feels alright. Isn't slipping. I think for £1,000 it is an awful lot of car, this still. But I just know my spend is starting to run away with itself. That idea of 1, 2, 3 might be out the window. It's not smoking heavily, so it could well have been serviced this, but there's no record of it. If it has been owned by a farmer type, they could have just done the job for cash. That's not an unbelievable thing. I didn't think to check the ashtray. What a contrasting image this is. We've got a cigarette lighter that's never been used, brand new, and a full ashtray full of horrible dirty butts. I tell you what, We've got loads of CDs here to choose from. I'm going to stop in a minute and go through them all. Right then, we've got, these are giving me a headache, Best of the 60s. What's your favourite Beatles album? I'd say the Best of the Beatles. The Best of the 60s. We've got, oh, I'll tell you what, we're spoiled for choice. Melting Pot. That's what we need, isn't it? One big melting pot. The Best of Blue Milk. Blue Mink. These glasses aren't helping me me read anything. Frank Sinatra, I tell you what, I'm taking these home for me dad. Blue Mink. 100 hits of the 70s. Something that came free with the Daily Mail. Another Frank there. Carpenters. I don't regret this purchase one bit. Why do birds? Oh, I give myself a migraine with these. Your own personalised CD. 20 classic love songs. It gets better. Love Legends. And what's this last one? Queen. Rod Stewart. All the hits. What else have we got there? That's it. Well, I'm very pleased with that. My day just got better. I think I need the opinion of my mechanic. I need them to tell me if it's too far gone. One thing with Kia and Hyundai, I like the brand. Don't get me wrong, I think they're really good. Good, solid, reliable cars generally. But parts can be quite expensive, or more expensive than you'd hope for. And also, I think my parts bill on this might be lengthy. What I'm going to do then, because it's a bit of a state, drop it off at the car wash first for a quick mini valet, then take to my mechanics. That's going to be my plan of attack. So I should have an update for you very soon. I hope it's good news. I hope it's good news. If it's not, then I'm just going to have to advertise it as it is. Spares, repairs, project car, that sort of thing. Right, I'll catch up with you later on. Cheers, guys. And we're back in the cheap Kia Sportage, and unfortunately, I've fallen back into my old ways. I've fallen off the wagon, guys. I've massively overspent. Anyway, let's not get too bogged down with that, because take a look at it. It looks really good. Yes, I know it's a 14-year-old cappuccino coloured Kia Sportage with no heated seats, but it does look bright, doesn't it? I'm quite pleased with it, really. If you remember, I paid just £1,000 for this, which I thought was cheap, but then when I saw it, I saw the state of the interior and the exterior. I thought, I'm going to really struggle to make any money out of this. I better just tell you what's happened then, hadn't I? So after we last spoke, I took this down to my mechanic, and I asked them to do a service, an MOT on it, and just a general check over, really. They called me up a couple of days later and said, right, it's quite a nice thing, this. You won't have to spend a fortune on this. There's nothing really wrong with it, apart from the interior and the exterior, of course. But they even commented on how well it drove. I think one of them nipped out to get their lunch in it, and it does drive really well, which is what I knew at the time. Anyway, there was one quite big issue with it, and that was the rear subframe. It was a bit invisible. Here, take a look. I took a picture of this whilst it was down at my mechanics. It is in a right state. How this passed an MOT last year, I will never know. I think somebody did somebody else a favour. Anyway, I had a look online and I found a replacement rear subframe for it, which wasn't too expensive. Another couple of days passed and that finally arrived. In fact, I got it delivered directly to my mechanic. It's sad, isn't it, that my eBay account now, my primary address is work, my secondary address is my mechanics. As it turns out, it wasn't a massive job. So once that was done, they ran it through an MOT, it sailed through, no advisory items, job done. So then after that, I picked it up and I took it down to Jimmy the Magician. In fact, what I did was, it's got chunky tyres on this, and we were due snow. So the day before we were due snow, I dropped it off with Jimmy and sort of said, here Jim, how would you fancy using a four-wheel drive Kia Sportage for the next few days? Sometimes in life, you've got to bribe people. It's just knowing who and when. Oh, I sold that in front. A Kia Picanto automatic that had done very few miles. Sadly, the previous owner passed away. I went round there and picked it up and bought it and then sold it immediately. Not that you can see that, of course, from where you're sitting, but I just remember the reg because I'm sad. Now, Jimmy did a really good job with this. I'm really pleased. When he saw it, he said, how far do you want to go with this? There were dents in the bonnet, the back rear door was all dented. It looked a bit of a mess. So I said, look, just do the bottom parts of the doors, do the rear bumper, maybe the front bumper as well, I can't remember. Anything else, just touch in. Because what I'm going to do, I mean, I think it looks all right as it is, but what I'm going to do is speak to the lads at Dents next time they're passing and just see if they can improve the dents in the bonnet and the dents in the door. If they can't, I think I can live with them. They're all right. This kind of car, by the way, will be bought by somebody rurally, who I promise you won't care too much about the condition. I've been here too many times before. It looks quite tidy, and let's not forget, it's a 14-year-old car. It's never going to win any prizes, is it? It's never going to be in a... Oh, look at that. Vantage. It's never going to win any prizes, and it's never going to feature in anyone's car collection or museum. After I got it back from Jimmy's, I ran it over to the lads at Tameside Valeting, who I kind of dropped it and ran, really. It was a state, wasn't it? Full of dog hairs and stuff in the back. It was just minging, absolutely minging. Straw everywhere, and you know, it wasn't very pleasant. So I got it back from there this morning. It's been there for 2 or 3 days. You have to do the interior several times and then let it dry out. And it looks really good. I mean, I know it has leather seats, so they would have just wiped down, but the carpets in particular, they've come up like new. So I got it back to work, took some nice photographs of it, and I've done an advert. I've got this advertised for £3,495, which sounds, when you think I paid £1,000 for this, sounds like I'm going to be earning quite a lot of money, doesn't it? Not so fast. What I think we'll do now then, as always, I'll park up in this little lay-by and I'll talk you through my costs. They are quite considerable. Anyway, I can't get it right all the time, can I? I'm only human. Okay then, my MOT test fee was 40, but in fact, let me work this out. Gonna need more than my mental arithmetic for this. The car was £1,000. I mentioned that several times, haven't I? The bill at my mechanics was £411.40. So that is an MOT test fee, fit rear subframe, oil filter, oil and labour. It's quite a lot of labour that, but I think it was quite a lot of work. £411.40. Perfect. The rear subframe cost me £109, which I think's a bargain actually. The valet cost me £90 because this was V-bad. Now the paintwork cost me £375, which is a bit of a result actually. Let me read the bill out to you. So then, repair near side body mouldings and near side front bumper corner. Repair rear bumper. Repaint all the panels, buff, polish, wax full vehicle and touch in and general clean. That was £375. So once again, he's done me a good deal there. That takes, have I spent anything else? No. That takes my total to, you ready for this? £1,985. 1985. The year of Band-Aid and my parents' marriage. 1985 and 40 pence. So if I can get 3,495 for this without my VAT and tax and all that sort of stuff, but let's not dwell on that. Should have a profit of around £1,500. Now, 2 more things to mention. If the lads from Dents come out and they can pop out the dents from the bonnet and that rear door, then that will add another £80, let's say. In fact, I'll text them now actually, see if they're available this week. So I can add another 80 to that. And also, there's no evidence the cam belt's been done. And on this particular car, because I've done many of them, it's about £420. Now, I could have got it done, and then it would have owed me £2,500. But then if I had to reduce this NE to 3,295 or something, then I'm working for nothing. So what I think I'll do, as I sometimes do on the cheaper end stuff, is suggest at point of sale splitting the cost with the customer. You know, if they make some sort of contribution, I can claim the VAT back on the parts. It might cost them another couple £100, but everyone's happy then. So I think that's about it. There's not a lot else to say, only that I've now got a quite tidy 77,000 mile Kia Sportage. 4-wheel drive, no less. Which should sell. I'm expecting a phone call from somebody who lives around here. There, perhaps. That just wants a cheap car to take the kids to school in and won't get stuck in the snow. And with these 4 matching general grabbers, this shouldn't get stuck anywhere. So, yeah, another massive overspend, but hopefully there's still some profit, so it's not the end of the world, is it? Right, cheers guys, thank you once again for watching. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done already. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, I'll leave the link below, and TikTok also. Let's not forget TikTok. And yeah, cheers guys, I'll see you next time. Last time I tried to back round this corner, I nearly got written off by a Royal Mail van. Don't want to repeat, do we?